They do not stick around long. They take off and they take off. I think that's the main mare. She usually comes up in behind, runs them up through.
We'll slow down so I can.
See, there they are. The lead mare usually stays in the back, running them out.
Seeing the horses in the wild that day reminded me of when I worked as a volunteer at Zoo, Montana, and had the pleasure of knowing Dr. J. Kirkpatrick, who wrote this book, Into the Wind. I was very saddened to hear of Dr. J. Kirkpatrick's death a few years ago. He spent his life helping people understand the value of the wild horse. In the beginning of his book, he asks us what the value of the wild horse is. And then he goes on to share some of the most miraculous things about their behavior that the average person doesn't know. The wild horse's history is unknown to most of us. It's complex and includes many fascinating elements. I encourage everybody who is fascinated by these animals to read his book and discover more about their behavior. I hope that at the end of his life, Dr. Kirkpatrick had done everything he had wished to do, had solved every mystery he had wished to see, but I doubt that's possible. But now we come to the value of the wild horse, and like everything else in its history, this value is unique on our continent. If we are to appreciate these animals at all, we must appreciate them simply because of their aesthetic value as wild creatures. They have no other important human value associated with large wildlife species. The medicine dog has only value to the spirit. A glimpse of the wild horse has no promise of meat, of the thrill of the hunt, of licensed sales, or of market values. This glimpse offers only whatever value can be obtained from the view itself. I have stood upon the rock outcrops of the high Pryor Mountains, the holy lands of the Crow Indians, watching guerrilla and buckskin mares with their foals and their black stallions grazing on alpine meadows as they have done for 200 years, framed by the awesome Beartooth Mountains to the west. I have watched bands of wild horses run free across the sage-covered hills of Challis, Idaho, leaving plumes of dust in their wake. In the billabongs of Australia's northern territories, I have watched sorrows and chestnuts on their way to precious waters cautiously file their way through the spinix plants and the bird-filled eucalyptus trees. Watching a young mare in the brook cliffs of Utah emerge with a wobbly new foal after their days of secret hiding makes me giddy and light-hearted for days. To see a stallion and a mare affectionately groom each other amid the man-height sagebrush of Wyoming's silent red desert fills me with awe. And if there is anything more beautiful on this earth than standing alone in the Asantagoo Marsh in the cold March sunset, watching bands of brown and white pintos graze peacefully while snow geese glide overhead and sika deer gracefully prance on their way to some favorite feeding place, I want to discover it before my own journey is finished. I am richer beyond description because of these events, and that is the value of the wild horse.